Hello everyone, it's Angie Tumlinson. I'm going to try this for my third time to try and see if I can get this going right. For some reason my sound wasn't coming through on my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it right here. But I wanted to talk to you today about what we've been talking about, because today's awareness. We're doing the laws thing where L is for love on Monday and W is for awareness on Wednesdays. Or A is for awareness on Wednesdays, and then W is for wins on Fridays. So anyhow, today is Wednesday, so we're going to be talking about awareness. So in my class, I have a class, a 6 a.m. class called Rise and Shine with Angie, and I go over books that I love, that I really enjoy. So there, we have one person. I'm pretty sure my sound is working now. I'm hoping that it is. But we're going to talk about a little bit about, we've been talking about Neville Goddard's Power of Awareness. And I love this book. I've read it several times, and is talking about assumptions. And I don't think we really understand how much our assumptions dictate to us what we're thinking, especially when we're trying to grow and create something new for ourselves. I really love spending time with people who love to go for it and who love to build their goal or their dream. And I think it's everyone's God-given right to go after what you want, what you love. And so this is the joy of what I love doing. But he said, man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him happens as a result of his state of consciousness. Now, if you were like me before I really started understanding this, consciousness is really when you have a thought and you have a feeling, and those two things come together, and that creates a consciousness. We have an awareness about things. And so we have an assumption because of this awareness. And so many times, why I love to talk to people about the expansion of going beyond what you know right now is for the very idea that we have an opportunity wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to go further than you ever have before. And most people will say, well, I can't because. Now, the because is your conscious awareness about an idea, or if you wanted to look at it, an awareness of a block, maybe. And that's what's called resistance. We see something and we think, you know what? I can't really go after that. That's not really for me because. Whatever the because is just a habit of where your mind goes. What would happen if you changed the habit? What would happen if you started a different way of looking at it? And he said, to be transformed, the whole basis of the thought must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have a new idea. So a rearrangement of how you're thinking. For you think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. So for many people, I think when they are thinking of the idea of transforming, it seems a little bit overwhelming. So I've worked with several people before where they come to me and they say, look, Angie, I want to make $60,000 a month in my network marketing company, or I want to make, $60,000 in my new business. And so I listen to them and I say, well, tell me about that. And you just see deadness in their eyes. They've picked a number, but they haven't had a burning desire about it. So what I'll do is I will say to them, well, what would happen in your new business or in your new network marketing business or whatever it is, your coaching business? What would happen if you were earning what you're earning right now, maybe at a job? Oh, well, that would feel kind of good. And instead of working, let's say 40 hours a week, there's 4 weeks in a month. So right there, we're looking at 160 hours a month. What would happen if you could make the same amount of money by doing this one thing, this one small thing, and you got really, really good at it? What would you do with all your time? Maybe that thing will only take you 2 or 5 hours as opposed to 166 hours. This is what happened to me, how I turned my annual income into a monthly income, is it took me over 160 hours to receive $5,000. And so I wanted to take my annual income and turn it into a monthly income. Well, that was just, a lot, if you think about it. It was around 50 grand a year is what we were making. And so to start making that in a month just seemed outrageous. outrageous to me. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas. So I started entertaining the idea, what would happen if I could do this in like 3 hours instead of 160 hours plus? And that new thought allowed me to grab another new thought. And then the other new thought allowed me to grab another new thought. And before I knew it, I was creating new thoughts around this one idea. And I started creating a burning desire within myself. And he said, the first step in the renewing of your mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. Now, a lot of times what we do is we don't get a burning desire because we're doing things we've always done over here in the past. And it's not really a burning desire. It's just a habit. So we do the habit, it doesn't get us what we want, but we keep slugging away at it, hoping something outside of us is going to change our thought and our belief. But this is where this amazing thing that we have, our imagination, we can begin to imagine something different. So that's what I did. I began to imagine, what would it be like to be earning $50,000 a month? And I got so excited about that. And the more I got excited about it, the more ideas started flowing. And the more ideas started flowing, one day I had enough of these ideas that were coming together that I went, I know exactly what I want to do. And all of a sudden I made the decision to do what I'm doing today, which is coaching people, which I truly, truly love. So it all comes down to you being able to pick this idea, build a burning desire. It doesn't show up right away. I'm just going to tell you, a lot of times we pick a goal doesn't have a burning desire. Sometimes we have to play with it in our imagination. And he says, by desiring to be other than what we are, we can create the idea of the person we want to become and assume that we are already that person. So I would play with my mind what I wanted to be. And the more that I lived in that, I started gathering evidence of, well, what would happen if I could do this? And what would happen if I could do that? And then all of a sudden I would be in the feeling of it and I would take action towards the idea. Most of us, we stay in the smarty pants part of our mind and we don't build a desire. We intellectually think about it and then we just keep stalling out. So if you're somebody who's been stalling out, this might be really helpful for transformation, is to build the burning desire. What would you be doing? Who would you be with? What kinds of things would you be talking, walking, picking? What would you be doing if you could just pick one idea to change your life? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be on Clubhouse. And if you have the opportunity to come to Clubhouse, my favorite Peggy McCall is going to be on. And we're going to be talking about living in the dream of what we want. So if you're available tomorrow, get on Clubhouse at 8 a.m. It's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a blast. But you got to start learning, and this is what Peggy and I are going to talk about the desire. You got to build that desire. And it takes a little bit of time, but you can do it. Okay, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you later. Take care.